Also based on the email that Akasha has just shared, there's also something else that I wanted to do. So, you know how she's mentioning about some controls that need to be removed. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
understand if there are other removals that we might need to be processing as part of our assessment, right?
Okay. Okay. So, do you think these would be linking to these two, the ones Utkarsha has?
No, one is entity specific,
Yeah.
but there could be others that, you know, at the end of the day, whenever we are going to be creating these RACMs, there will be some sort of like subjective thinking that we might need that we might need to do. Example, so you know how, for example, FlexTech is like the Power Automate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, we might need to create a sub-control for Power
Power
Automate.
Automate. Yeah.
Uh, but what I want to do now is I just want to go to P7. By the way, this P7 might need to be
The columns needs to
P7.
be readjusted.
Yeah. You might need to do it. So this is something that we might need to do across the board, generally.
Okay. Sure.
It's an activity that we might need to conduct overall, just, similar. I know I've explained, I know that probably you've been working on other stuff, but the way I've explained is like actually thinking about the columns.
Mm-hmm.
So sort of like understanding everything that's available,
Yeah.
understanding every field and whether we want to include it or not.
Yeah.
And we have to do a similar thinking with the filters as well. Just
Okay.
FYI, you know.
Okay. That.
It's unfortunately, it's one of those tasks that seem simple but can take some time because it's not a priority, but you might need to, build in some time every day and be like, okay, let me look, and it's more of a project. It's like if someone asks you, can you rearrange completely the Teams folder? It's something that potentially is very simple and silly to do, but it can take time because you need to think about the structure, etc., etc. So this is very similar.
Okay.
You need to develop a mapping and then you need to think about it. I feel like it's something that we've been talking about for a while, but I don't know if you haven't like found time or. Uh,
I'll get to it, Anthony,
I,
for sure. I got your point.
so the ones that we marked as. So I think if we go to our TOD status and we look at. So surprisingly, there are some that we've marked as not started. It's funny, whenever you look at this thing, it's always the same people. But anyway, we are fine. Not to be tested. So these are the ones that we agreed they might need to be removed
Okay.
because they are not applicable. Division, John Crane and Smith's China. And so I'm only interested in SAP stuff, really,
Mm-hmm.
because this is an SAP entity. So I'm just
Yeah.
curious if there is any sort of like So TCM, review and approval of changes to bank mandates for Korea. Well, no, clearly that's like an ad hoc thing. I don't even know why we are saying not tested, but whatever. Maybe because there's a gap or something like that. No, but anyway, not relevant. O2C. Yeah, so these are mistakes. These are gaps that we're marking as like not to be tested, but they should really be testing postponed, I think. Anyway, whatever. Let's just leave it for now. This is a project. We'll start fresh. The performance, the PP performance tracker stuff. These are like ad hoc, so not necessarily relevant for India. And this is changing Italy, Middle East, Korea, France, and GmbH. So there is review and approval of journal log. Consistently marked as not to be tested. So these control review and approval of journal log, we might need to remove it for India. Let's just see what we've got. As part of the analysis I did, financial statement close process, and we're looking at number 1. So we have one BNC, and we have...
Antony, I'm so sorry to break, but I just wanted to run through you. So there's a meeting scheduled in the next 15 minutes by Siddharth from KPMG.
Yeah, we need to attend that.
Okay, sure. Let me repeat.
We'll then carry on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. After that, we have the fortnightly SAP call.
No, I think that's been rescheduled.
It's still showing up in my calendar. Okay. Let me reschedule that. I think my calendar's a little messed up. Let me check that out. Yeah, please.
No. You're right. We've got this governance meeting. For some reason, I thought we were talking about the SAP call, but yeah, we've got the governance meeting. Okay, then we've got 12, and then but then I know you have a meeting at one point, but maybe we can. Yeah, we'll carry on in the I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah. If you want, I can reschedule the SAP governance meeting because we do not have heat today, and we wanted heat.
Okay, then just you can cancel it, I guess.
Okay, sure.
I don't know. You tell me.
I'll move it to next week.
The call?
I'll just move it to next week. I won't cancel it.
So here we should be fine because we've got review and approval of month-end checklist, balance sheet and operational performance review and approval of trial balance. So clearly from India, it's already been removed, that control. We don't have it anymore. It's already been, wasn't part of the RACAM in the first place, right?
Yep.
So that's good. So I don't think there is anything else that we need to consider before we build the RACAM. Okay, so I'm just going to take a copy of this and do some analysis because we are going to be doing things slightly differently this time, right?
Yeah.
So ultimately what we need to do is we need to identify the controls that we will be bringing into the local RACAM, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here I've done a few checks when I was trying to do my stuff here. And so, for example, here I derived my local control ID, my agnostic control ID. I checked my old criticality, and essentially what I've done is I've done a check just to see if my old criticality formula against the original GCF was the same as the criticality that I had in my in my Rackham, right? With this criticality, which
Yeah.
was coming from Diligent.
Mm-hmm.
So I did this, and I think we identified a couple of exceptions. These are the ones. And this is a non-critical subcontrol, so same as before. So we don't need to mark it as critical. So I was happy with the criticality before. This is the new criticality. So clearly, if I click false, I'm expecting to see 0. And then everything else has been mapped based on So we've got our 0 and our critical controls. And then we have this that I said check. Some of these are becoming, so just because the reference wasn't available. So some of these are being removed and some of these are being kept, right?
Yeah.
And then I checked whether this was in the divisional Rackham or whether it was being tested centrally, because the divisional Rackham hasn't been fully developed. So currently in the divisional Rackham, we've got all the controls that are non-ad hoc or automated that we have that we execute as part of control execution. And we also brought in the controls that we did the control attestation for as part of the CSA and control attestation. But there are some controls that are in the Rackham that we tested centrally, that are critical, but are either ad hoc or automated that we never brought into the divisional Rackham. So now what we're going to be doing for the divisional Rackham when we create it, which is probably something that I'm going to do separately, by the way. I'm just going to do the local one with you, okay?
Okay.
We will then need to we'll bring all the divisional controls into one single Rackham, which will make things so much easier because it will also make the Rackhams a bit lighter, right? And then here I have a comment. Essentially, I'm saying like, okay, what is going on with this control? Then I decide whether we are testing or not, whether we would have tested in FY25, and then I add an action as well. So, for example, if there's anything additional that we might need to mention, then then I'm just including it essentially.
Okay. And just a question, Antony. So when you mention something as local, does it mean it's already agreed or okayed by the division or the stakeholders from the business end?
What do you mean? Sorry.
So do we have these conversations with the business as well, that what, I'm marking this as a local and I'm marking this as a central?
In most cases we do. There is only one exception.
Okay.
You see where I've written this?
Okay.
These are non-critical controls, by the way. So something that we haven't checked.
Okay.
So these are my existing non-critical controls. So the question for me was, I asked Utkarsha, can you let me know if these are in fact divisional controls or not?
Okay.
She hasn't come back to me yet. And I don't think she will. But very soon, just because she's busy with other stuff. And then the other thing is, should we just perform an update? So for the local controls that we're keeping, is there anything really that we should do for those? Okay, but I think, so what we're going to be doing now is I am going to be keeping this just for reference, and I'm going to be making a copy. Just to analyze what I need. So what we're going to do as well is we are going to a control now, just a random one. John Crane India is easy, by the way, because it's a new entity. So all the TOD information is blank. if you see what I mean. Okay. So when we upload, I'm just going to give you an example. So we'll take one entity that's been TOD'd and one entity that hasn't been TOD'd. So if I go to India, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I take any control at this point because there isn't any much, there isn't really a difference. I have got all my attributes here that have been completed, but then if I go into control execution and design effectiveness, there isn't really much. I've got, you know, things like control maturity or management review control, walkthrough date, walkthrough perform with testing status, evidence required. All of this has not been completed. Well, actually, maybe I should go to a critical control. So let me just go to non-PO invoice approval. Well, probably they've, no, but they haven't even, because this is ad hoc. Let me try with another one. Let's see, maybe vendor, trying to find one that's not divisional, or maybe one manual and one-off payments. No, still manage, possibly manage centrally. Let me go to another field. So fixed assets, CapEx requisition would not be managed centrally, because we need to understand what we might have in our other fields as well. So if I take review and approval of CapEx proposal, so this is exactly the same information. Then if I go into control execution and design effect, no, still no evidence required. Nothing has been filled out for India apparently. But we're still gonna take a look at our P7 just to see if any attributes have been filled out for India.
Okay.
Do you see? So essentially, my P04. So the way this has been built unknowingly, right, in the past,
Mm-hmm.
is we utilized some fields into our walkthrough column just because, like, you know, they just wanted to do. They didn't really know what they were doing, so they just came up with all of these fields that we don't use at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, assertions, they're just like it's really just like above anything that we might possibly need. But let's see if I can find something. So I've got my IT systems, I've got my key reports and EUC usage. Normally that's coming from, as you can see here. So I'm looking at these fields, and actually maybe what we could do is I've got my key reports and EUC usage. And also, I don't know if, like, yeah, control maturity as well. I just need to make sure that all of these fields are visible, right? Because
Absolutely.
otherwise, if
Yeah.
I've downloaded something, then so I've got.
Can you just search directly?
Yes, I can, but I feel like it's just gonna take longer. And then if I
Okay.
search, this window is disappearing.
Oh yeah.
So key reports and EUC usage. Then I've got control maturity, which I saw earlier. Then I've got management review control. Then I've got walkthrough date, walkthrough perform with testing status TOD, and then evidence required CE. So all of these fields are actually appearing in my extract. So I just need to check if any of them apply to John Crane India. So key reports and EUC. Then we said control maturity. This is my control maturity. Then I said management review control, walkthrough date, walkthrough perform with testing status TOD and evidence required CE. So these are my, so if I go to Jonghyun in India, no, it's, how do we call it? Systems something. No. PTE? No. What's your, what's the equivalent of LTD or something like that
Uh,
in,
Private limited, Ltd. Can you just type Ltd or services?
no, I'm never gonna find it because we've never tested it, so it wouldn't appear in P7. I need to take another extract, fortunately.
Uh, Anthony, I think we have to jump on to the other meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll text you. I mean, you can text me.